Okay, I'm going to call the meeting to order. All rise for a pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which is stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everyone. Is it cold enough for you now? Just think it is. No, don't go with that joke. Anyways, yeah, nope, it's getting that much closer to spring. Days are getting longer, so we'll be over this soon, I'm sure. I hope. Yes, it will be. Yes, so we're getting there. All right, so the first items on the agenda are the homeowners associations. Anyone here from Edgewood Pond, Amit Kumar Pilvikar, did I say that right? Amit, are you here or online? Nope, that's Plan Commission. So I guess not. What about Martin Estates? Anyone from here from Martin Estates anywhere? Eric Bruckman? All right, if not, then it's time for public comment. Any public comment from in the room? All right, any public comment from anyone online? I don't think so. Can we get one now? If we want. Archana, do you want to give a brief Plan Commission update right now? If since you're online,
we'll have to promote you so you can unmute yourself.
Can you hear us? She's still muted.
Be able to unmute yourself now if you want.
If not, we can come back to it.
Yep.
Okay. Public safety report. Lex, do you have anything for us? You do. Yeah. Wonder what that is.
Happy to be here again. I'd like to introduce Deputy Andy Marcoya. Andy's been with the Sheriff's Office for over 20 years. He works down in Longgrove pretty much 5 days a week. But we don't have really anything else going on. No, I'm not quitting. He's not taking it. He's actually one of the deputies assigned to the village to actually patrol the village. So Andy's got a very good working knowledge of the village. So I just wanted him to be able to come in and see all your faces. You see him.
Thank you.
No, he's not taking my place. We're not doing the quick switch on you.
All right, thank you. Thanks for being here. Thank you both. Yeah, Archana, did you want to give an update from the Plan Commission meeting that you just had?
Sure. The meeting was about Brothersfield and they're opening a distillery, adding one to their restaurant. So there were a couple of questions the zoning commission board members had, which they addressed in regards to the hazardous material, how they was going to store the distillery, certain zoning code requirements for future distilleries to come in Longgrove. Would that be something that we want to set in their zoning amendments, the text amendments that we would give them, so that considering whatever future distilleries come, how do we address those as well? So in all, it passed the motion, and they were able to address most of our concerns in terms of security, in terms of the timing, how long it would be open, the weekdays, what are the noise levels. Any particular questions you have for me, I'll be happy to address them. I cannot hear anyone, sorry.
Their proposal was to open up a distillery and brewery, taproom brewery.
Correct.
In the barn that they have, right?
Yeah, so
the tan barn.
Yep. So the considerations were a text amendment to the village code to allow a distillery taproom in the B1 district as a special use, and then also to amend the Brothersfield PUD and special use permit to allow this use as part of their plan.
Got it. So, and the commission approved it, right? So recommended approval of it, right?
The commission had concerns
about.
Sorry, the commission did have concerns, though we approved it, about another brewery already existing. some of the board members had that question, and they did request that to be remain retail and not commercial distillery or brewery. That was the only concern the commissioners had.
Got it. Yeah, thank you for that. Were there questions from the board? Anyone? No? Okay, thank you for giving the report. Appreciate it.
No, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we have a consent agenda. There are several items on it. There's the treasurer's report from December of 2025. There's the approval of the minutes from the January 13th meeting. There is a small change, and that is on item 10. You want to give us the update?
Yes, the draft minutes simply said that the consideration of this would be continued to a future meeting. I had recommended, and trustees Borowski and O'Connor had agreed to change that to the first meeting of February. So that's the only change to the minutes, I believe. And whoever is going to make the motion when you get to that point should be with the amendment to the minutes.
Oh, yeah, in fact, you're muted too. So we're not mastering. the
Sorry for those who couldn't hear me, but I hope the board members could.
Absolutely. All right. So then we have two special events. One is the Prairie State Half Marathon. And the other one is for the, turkey trot. I think, Peter, you're here, right? Yeah. Peter Starkowitz is here. So if you have any questions, but otherwise, if there's no questions, I would be looking for a motion to approve.
And that would be with the amendment to the minutes, right?
Okay. So, moved by trustee O'Connor, seconded by, trustee Harris.
Couple questions if I could.
Please.
On the, on item number 7, the money raised for wings is noted on the application. But that's all we know about wings. What wings is this? And do we have their 501c3 number listed anywhere in the documents? Like a certain trustee has requested many times before.
Does anyone know what that's a great question. What is the wings in the,
It's a. In Palatine, they had the fire.
yeah, you're muted too. We're doing a horrible job on the microphones today.
Sorry, sorry, they're a charity that for decades was in Palatine. They had a fire. They've moved their, I believe that they're in Lake Zurich now. But they take in donations and sell them. And the monies that they make are for battered women, families who are put out of their houses due to fire or internal strife, whatever. They've been around for decades. They're a reputable charity.
If that's the wings that we're referring to, I'm a very frequent shopper at their thrift store in Schaumburg, and I love the organization, which is cool. But I just wanted to bring up the point that our documentation still doesn't list any detail about the charities that are involved in any of the events. And frankly, that's, I think the point of clarity would be good. The second thing I think about is Wings is not necessarily a local charity. It's a great charity, but it's not necessarily a local charity. I wonder if we do charity work going forward, if we can maybe pick some charities that are a bit closer to home. Because to Rita's point, I think, Palatine, I know the Schaumburg store, I think there's an Arlington Heights wing store even maybe. But yeah, I'd like to just maybe bring a charity a little bit closer to home versus one that isn't. So just a couple of comments. Thank you.
Thank you for those comments. We have a live motion that was moved by trustee O'Connor, seconded by trustee Harris. That would be a roll call. Yeah, you're going to have to, speak into your microphone too.
Yeah, motion to approve the consent agenda items 5 through 8 with amendment to item 6 that was noted. Trustee O'Connor.
Aye.
Trustee Harris.
Aye.
Trustee Tanucci.
Aye.
Trustee Jacob.
I don't have to vote.
Oh, sorry. Trustee Borowski, sorry.
I'll be President Borowski now. Thank you. Aye.
Can approve.
Yeah, motion carried. Yeah, we're good. Because no Dr. Jamil online in there. Okay, got it. All right. Other business, the annual audit. Lauren Allen is here to present the annual audit. And we also have our CFO here as well. So, yeah. Lauren, take it away.
Great. Good evening. My name is Lauren Allen, and I'm a senior manager with Sikich. I'm here on behalf of Tom Sawicki, the engagement director, who had prior obligations tonight. We were the auditors for the village's April 30th, 2025 fiscal year. Thank you for allowing me a few minutes this evening to discuss the results of the audit. I'd also like to thank everyone in the audit process that was involved this year. It was a very smooth process from start to finish. This evening, I will be covering the 4 reports that we issued, which includes the annual financial report, board report, the TIF report, and the single audit report. So I'll start on page 1 of the annual financial report. This takes us to the independent auditor's report. So when we're performing the audit, we have 2 sets of standards that we have to follow. The first is the AICPA standards, which provides the generally accepted auditing standards that we follow. And then the second set is established by GASB, and those are the governmental reporting standards that we follow. In the second paragraph of the independent auditor's report, I'm pleased to report that we have issued an unmodified opinion over the financial statements. This is also what's known as a clean opinion and is the highest level of assurance that we can provide that the financial statements are free from material misstatement. The independent auditor's report also continues on to discuss management's responsibility for the financials and our responsibility as the auditors. If you go just past the independent auditor's report, you'll come up to management's discussion and analysis on page MD&A 1. Just as the name describes, management discusses and analyzes the financial statements. Tim and Chris did a great job of putting together the MD&A for this year's report. It provides financial highlights about what happened during the year, as well as explanations on some of the changes that you will see. Overall, the MD&A provides good context on the account balances and changes during the year and the reasons why those changes happened. If you don't read anything else from the AFR, I would at least encourage you to read through the MD&A. You keep going a few more pages to page 6, that'll take you to the statement of net position. This, combined with the statement of activities, are the balance sheet and income statement at what we commonly refer to as the entity-wide level, as they include long-term activity of the village, like your capital assets and your long-term debt. On this page, I just want to highlight the net position down at the bottom. It's broken out into 3 sections based on the order of liquidity. So the first is your net investment in capital assets. So that's your capital assets balance, less any debt associated with the acquisition of those assets. The second section are your restricted balances, and those have been restricted by outside parties. And then the last section is unrestricted, and that's kind of just everything else that falls in there. Pages 7 and 8 will take you to the statement of activities, which is essentially the income statement at the entity-wide level for the village. This will tell you if the village is economically better or worse off from the past fiscal year of operations. And so for this year, we noted a $4.4 million increase for the village. Page 9 will take you to the individual fund financial statements. And so this schedule shows you each major fund of the village, and then there's one aggregate column for all of the non-major funds. The bottom section on page 10 we'll show you a breakout of the fund balances in each individual fund in that aggregate column. Noteworthy is that the general fund's unassigned fund balance represents about 262% of the budgeted expenditures for the general fund, which is above the fund balance policy set by the village, which is a minimum of 100% of the budgeted expenditures. So the board and management should just continue to monitor that percentage on a go-forward basis to determine how to handle that. Page 12 through 13 are your revenues, expenditures, and changes in fund balance during the year at the individual fund level again. Again, it's broken down by those major and then the aggregate non-major column. If you specifically look at the general fund, there was a minor decrease of about $74,000 in this past fiscal year, bringing it to an ending total fund balance of $14 million. And then I also want to point out that the downtown TIF fund is continuing to work down the deficit fund balance for it. Similar to last year, it had an increase of about $706,000 in fund balance. So now that total fund balance deficit has decreased to $6.5 million. Starting on page 15, you'll get to your proprietary fund statements. Page 16 specifically is the income statement for the water fund. The water fund did have a net operating loss of about $191,000 this year, which is basically indicating that the fees being charged for water aren't currently supporting the cost of the service, and it also hasn't for the past several years. So this is something that we would recommend looking into. Overall, though, the water fund did end with about $5.4 million of positive net position. Those are your main financial statements in the beginning. Page 21 will take you to the footnotes. So that's going to supplement and add additional context to the financial statements on some other key areas, including your capital assets, long-term debt, or your pension information. Page 45 of the annual financial report takes you to your required supplementary information schedules. It starts off with a presentation of the general fund budget versus actual. So you can get a good idea of how the general fund performed in actuality compared to the budget that you had established. For this year, the general fund, as I mentioned earlier, did have a minor decrease in its fund balance of $74,000. However, that outperformed the budget, which was projecting a $408,000 decrease for the fiscal year. Also included in your RSI on page 50 are the schedules for your IMRF defined benefit pension plan. This first schedule for IMRF is your schedule of changes in the liability. And the liability increased very slightly this year from $508,000 to $582,000. However, the liability as of December 31st, 2024 is still funded at 81%. And so that makes it an extremely well-funded plan, and there are no concerns over that.
Hey, Lauren, I'm going to stop you there for a second too, because I had already asked Tim, because it's like it's 2025 is over. You know, why is it 2024, right? So, and that's because we don't get the statements until when? March or April.
Mhm.
Got it.
Yep, correct.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
So that's everything that I wanted to cover on the AFR. The next document that I want to cover is the board report. It also starts off being called the auditor's communication to the village board. There's two main parts to this document, or two purposes. The first is that it's a required communication, which contains various items that the auditors need to communicate to those charged with governance. And it's also sometimes referred to as the SAS 114 letter. And then this report also contains the journal entries that we proposed during the course of the audit. For this year, there were only 6 entries proposed, which is a very good minimal number of entries. Page 7 in the same packet includes the management letter. So this is where we would communicate any recommendations that we have for management in the village to consider implementing and to improve any controls. On page 11, that's our specific recommendations for this year. So the first comment is just on your water fund operating loss, to continue evaluating that and determine what steps you might take to eliminate that loss in future years. And then the second comment was on your investment policy review, and I'm happy to say that that comment was implemented for this past fiscal year. The third report is your TIF report. So that's on your downtown TIF, and you're required to have a TIF compliance opinion each year. Again, similar to the annual financial report, we have an unmodified opinion for your compliance with TIF laws and regulations. And then this report is used for easier submission to the comptroller for the required TIF filings each year. The last report is a new report for this year, and that's your single audit report. This one was required due to the village expending greater than $750,000 in federal grant monies for this year. And that was all related to the ARPA funds specifically. Happy to report, again, that was an unmodified opinion for compliance with the grant requirements. And we did not identify any findings or question costs in that report. So that concludes my presentation. Are there any questions?
So, I mean, I guess we got a clean report, right? Very little, if any, deficiencies, right? We had higher tax revenue than anticipated.
Mhm.
Our income was higher. The TIF did better. Obviously our, water system is in the hole. So that's a challenge, but I mean, other than that, I mean, I don't know if there's anyone, Tim, Gavin, you want to give any other comments, or is our finance guy?
Honestly, I think Lauren summarized everything very well. Don't really have much to add.
Okay. Any questions from the trustees?
I have one, thank you.
Sure.
When you made reference to,
Before we do that, can we do motion to allow trustee Jamil to attend remotely?
I'll make that motion.
Moved by trustee Browski, seconded by trustee Harris. In a second.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Motion carried. Thank you for seconding that.
Thank you. My question pertains to your comments about the village assets being in excess of 230% of the operating expense, where our target was about 100%. You kept saying the village needs to look at that and review it. In what way? To spend more money or to tax the residents less? What are you saying?
That would be up to.
That's a policy kind of question, or?
Yeah, that would be reviewing your fund balance policy and determining if 100% is still an appropriate amount for the village. Whether that needs to be amended to either increase what your fund balance policy is, or if you should spend down perhaps some of that unassigned fund balance just to bring you closer in line with that policy. But that would be up to the village and those charged with governance to determine how best to address that.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions? Comments? We don't need a motion right now. This is just a presentation, right? We don't have to approve the audit or anything. Okay. Well, obviously you've done a great job. There's very minimal questions, Lauren.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for your presentation. All right, so the next item on the agenda is a resolution to use the MFT funding, right, Jeff? So we have to pass a resolution to actually use it. And it's $400,000, correct? Any other details that anyone wants to share on it? If not, does somebody want to make a motion to approve?
Yes, I would.
Moved by trustee Borowski. Second by trustee O'Connor. Roll call.
Connor.
Nucci,
Okay, sorry.
trustee Borowski,
Oh, did I miss you? Oh, I heard it on the
We only
side.
heard Ken, so sorry.
Yeah, I heard.
Okay, all good.
trustee Borowski,
Aye.
trustee Nucci,
Aye.
trustee Harris,
Aye.
trustee Jamil,
Aye.
trustee O'Connor,
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. All right. The intergovernmental agreement for the Route 22 project, right? So Vic, you want to key this
Sure,
up?
I'll turn on my mic and then I'll speak. This, I suppose it's fair to say, is a long time coming. But IDOT is gearing up to do the Route 22 widening, which has been talked about forever. The issue has been roiling around for decades. George, it was old when you were on the board. But now we have IDOT wanting to move forward. And back in November, they actually presented us with an agreement that included our landscaping plan, which we have been telling them we wanted in order to exchange for some of the scenic corridor easement areas that they are hoping to use. So the agreement that is, or the resolution before you tonight, is to approve an agreement in substantially the form. There's still some refinements to the agreement that we're still discussing with IDOT, but I think substantively, based on communications as late as this afternoon, we seem to be on the same page, just some tweaking of language. So the resolution would do two things. One, it would approve the agreement in substantially the form and authorize its signature, subject to the finalization of the language. Two, it would allow IDOT to begin immediately, footnote on the immediate in just a second, but begin immediately some of the clearing work that they need to do during the winter months for purposes of moving forward with the program. The footnote on the beginning immediately is that they do have to agree to the conditions, which are maintaining a log of the trees removed and agreeing that they will pay us the double the tree replacement fee under our ordinance if we don't have an agreement signed within 6 months. The only reason why that part was put in was because we started talking about this somewhere at least around 2000, and we're only now getting to it, and we thought that a little feet to the fire wouldn't hurt. And so that's what the resolution is seeking to do. If you have any questions about the agreement particularly, or about the resolution, I'll be happy to address those questions.
Open it up for questions. Anyone? No?
I have a related question, but not to the resolution, which I wholeheartedly support and will move to approve. But my question is engineering. I couldn't tell from the drawings. Is this 4 lanes in each direction or is this 2 lanes?
2 lanes in each direction.
I'm sorry, 2 lanes in each. That was my question. Sorry. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, because I couldn't really tell that from the drawings, so.
I agree, you couldn't.
You couldn't tell. I was.
Yeah, that actually has been one of the things that we've been working with, but IDOT is in agreement that there will be an identification of the plans. They've been telling us, oh, we can't tell you what the plans are. But they have now agreed that the IGA will identify the plans so that there will be a comparator between what we have been presented with. And I know that Jeff has been thrilled to go through those on multiple occasions and what is ultimately going to be the final plans.
Okay, thank you very much. So again, I'll move to,
Moved by trustee Borowski, seconded by trustee Harris. Roll call.
Trustee Borowski,
aye.
trustee Harris,
Aye.
trustee Jamil,
Aye.
trustee O'Connor,
Aye.
trustee Tanucci.
Aye. Okay, motion carried. The village engineers report.
All right, so we're moving right along. So, oh, wow, this one's loud. That's a feedback. Hot mic, hot mic. Back to IT here for a second. Anything you can do about that or just go on?
Just kind of move it back.
All right. Well, not really better, but hey, here we go. I'll keep it short and sweet. So the Lake Michigan water connection, number one on the engineer's report, we've got a meeting with the contractor tomorrow just to kind of go over some of the tree clearing, which may commence yet this month, probably early next month. So progress is forthcoming on that one. The road program, thank you for the resolution and passing that. The preparatory work is ongoing. We're still looking to bid that in March. Just to add to the Route 22 conversation, if you remember the beginning of November, IDOT had a pre-construction meeting to clear trees for the project, and that's when they were dutifully notified that that the village hadn't released the scenic corridor easement rights. That work in the village of Killdeer has been completed, and IDOT probably why they were so reactive here in the last couple of weeks is they need to get the trees in Long Grove cleared by the end of March due to the northern long-eared bat. So just wanted to reiterate that, and probably that's where IDOT's willingness came from. But like Vic said, we got just a few more perfunctory things to review and work out with IDOT on that. The only other update I have is tomorrow, Village Manager Sparkman and I will be meeting with CL to talk about their landscaping. So hopefully we can get that plan on track for the first application this spring so that they can get their site looking neat, tidy, and pretty. So that's all the updates I had. A number of things on the engineer's report. If there's any questions, I'm happy to take them.
Anybody got questions?
I have a concern,
Go ahead. Yeah.
the same concern I've had for 3 years. When are they going to do a burn at Lucille?
Don't know, but I will ask them tomorrow what their plans are for the year.
Because the same weeds come up every year. It's not getting any better. I don't know how much money they've paid to Tallgrass, which is a good company. It's a mess.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Yeah, and this discussion with CL really started in earnest last year, and it wasn't Tallgrass. They hired McGinty to do
Yes.
their stewardship. But anyway, McGinty, probably June of last year, started expressing some concerns about how effective their stewardship had been. So that's kind of get back to the drawing board type approach since then. But it's taken a bit to get the appropriate people around the table at CL to move this forward. Hopefully tomorrow is that day.
And what if it is, what if it isn't? I mean, we're only holding $25,000, I think. And apparently they're not too concerned about losing it, but it has been years. And every year, it's an embarrassment. What recourse do we?
Well, we
have?
do have provisions in the special use permit that they have to maintain the landscaping plan that was approved. And we've been, as you know, pulling teeth trying to get the landscaping plan installed. But they still have an obligation to do that and to maintain it. So if we have to go through an enforcement process, we can do that. We've been trying to work with them as opposed to using the heavier hand of enforcement, but that is an opportunity if we need to use it.
It's just, when is it ever gonna change? You know, every year every year we hear people saying, what the heck is going on? Bobby O'Reilly used to say, just cut it all down and put grass seed.
Well, I was just gonna comment on that. 'Cause she's not around to say that anymore. But, I was thinking it
Yeah,
as you were talking.
Right.
So, I mean, that could be an option to come back and if they can't figure it out, what do we propose as an alternative, you know?
we agreed to a plan. It has never been adhered to. We gave them, we were holding 75,000, we gave them $50,000 back. And we still have, I mean, we did that, so we don't have that leverage anymore. But they either aren't taking it seriously or we're not doing our jobs. And everybody nods and says, yeah, okay, we'll talk about it, but nothing happens. Am I the only one for whom this is a problem?
I think everyone is, yeah. And, that's gonna be the meeting tomorrow that hopefully we make progress. I don't know what else to say. Guess otherwise we bring out the, heavy hand.
What?
We bring out the heavy hand. We bring out the hammer.
What is that
We
though?
fine them. I don't know, whatever our legal.
Can we?
We can find them and we can get specific performance if we want to. That would require a court action. And yeah, I think that the effort has been always to try to work with them rather than take a more aggressive and antagonistic approach.
There've been 3 owners there. And
and-
nobody seems to be able to get the job done. New Perspective is the same thing. We've had 3 owners there and it's the same, they all go to the same class, They
So,
learn how to do this stuff.
so will you all report back at the next meeting what happened?
Yes,
Agreed to.
absolutely.
What else to do? And then from there, we can decide as a board. That, okay? I guess. I know, I agree. All right, any other questions? If not, we'll move to the village president and trustee reports. The only thing I wanted to comment on is that it's that time of season. I guess we have to do our statement of economic interest by May 1st. And there was a pamphlet that the IML sent out, so we got time, but they'll be getting probably an email from the county, right, to complete it.
And we'll start nagging you.
I thought we did this already.
We do it every year, same thing.
Where does the time go?
Yeah, so I'm just reminding you that it's stated the do's and don'ts, and if you get the IML publication, I don't know if, Chris, if you want to distribute it to everyone,
Is it the same form as the last couple years?
They said there was a change though, so I didn't have a chance to study it, what the changes were, so.
I can send out the IML. I can forward that to everyone.
Yeah. Trustee Browski, do you have a report?
Not a report, maybe a follow-up question from a resident. Mr. Scardino, who's the president of the Autumn Woods Association, asked if there's any progress on his request to remove that big billboard type sign at the entrance of Autumn Woods, which is right on Diamond Lake Road, that has become in disrepair and an eyesore. And I just told him I'd follow up with staff to see if there's anything we could do to take that sign down beside my chainsaw after dark. Because,
Okay, Chris, what's the latest on that?
sorry, so that's just a follow-up question from
Yeah.
Mr. Scardino.
It was a bit of an untangle because they're part of Ravenna West. They changed their name, not tied to the village of Long Grove at all. So we're going through the PUD. I think there's a timeline listed in there. I just need to verify because they're all different. What the timeline is for a developer sign in there. And then once we have that, it's got to be passed. We tracked it back on, but Google Earth or Near Maps, 2011 or 12.
Yeah, well, thank you for that. I appreciate it. And to trustee O'Connor's earlier point, I think I would be able to find 1 or 2 residents who'd be very happy to mow down what we call our conservancy or our scenic corridor and plant grass as well. So that's why we want to be careful what we ask CL to do. Because I would be very happy to cut down my box elder trees and put grass in.
Good point. Anything else? Let's see, trustee Harris,
No,
trustee Jamil,
no report.
Trustee O'Connor?
Oh, just a little tidbit. Jeff and I chatted again this afternoon, and we are beginning the process of refining the pathway suggestions and possibilities.
Excellent. Thank you. Any report?
End of report.
Trustee Tanucci?
Nothing to report.
Okay, so we do have a reason to go into executive session. I need a motion to go into executive sessions for the purposes of discussing pending or threatened litigation.
So moved.
Moved by trustee Borowski, seconded by? Second. Second by trustee Harris. That would be a voice vote, roll call vote, roll call vote.
Okay, trustee Borowski,
Aye.
trustee Harris,
Aye.
trustee Jamil,
Aye.
trustee O'Connor,
Hi.
trustee Tanucci.
Aye. Okay, motion carried.
I don't think that we're going to be taking any action after the executive session. So
Okay.
You might want to let the folks know about it.
You're more than welcome to leave and stand outside, and then when we're done, you can come back. Now we have the space to do it.
But no action is going to be taken other than adjournment. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're welcome to say goodbye to us.
Hang around if you want.
You could
Thank
go
you.
warm up your car and come back out.
Right.
What we have is now we can do it, right? We've got the hallway out there, so we didn't have that before. Yeah. All right, thank you, George. How are we going to do this whole thing?
Dana stayed around the technology.
Okay, thank you. We're now leaving executive session. Can we have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Moved by trustee Borowski, second by trustee O'Connor. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, meeting adjourned. Good night, everyone.
You don't understand that, or? Hope you feel